Case on indigenous land rights in Brazil is halted. On Wednesday, the High Court of Brazil revoked the high-profile case of land rights which the indigenous peoples of the nation believe is important for their existence. The Supreme Court is considering whether a state government abused indigenous rights by recognizing only tribal territories inhabited by indigenous people when Brazil's constitution was adopted in 1988. Groups representing indigenous peoples claim the regulation violates the 1988 Constitution's protection of ancestral lands. Suspending the case was requested by one of the judges, Alexandre De Moraes. So far, 2 of the 11-member court have decided, one in favor of a deadline for land claims and the other against. The far-right President Jair Bolsonaro's administration has widespread backing from the agriculture industry, which generally supports the timetable. It contends the timeline that provided farmers legal protection. Many of them lived on land previously occupied by indigenous people for decades. Protected indigenous areas, proponents argue, provide a buffer against destruction in the Amazon. A court victory for indigenous people would provide a precedent for the erosion of indigenous rights sought by Bolsonaro with the support of strong agricultural interests, opponents warn. Lawyers representing Brazil's indigenous people, who number about 850,000 today, claim that the constitution establishing their rights to ancestral lands includes no mention of a time limit. Their forefathers have ejected from their hunting grounds centuries ago when European immigrants started to come or were ejected from prized agricultural land. Many white farmers' families have lived on property claimed by indigenous groups for decades, and some even have a title indicating they purchased it from the state. Bolsonaro stated recently, "There is nothing whatsoever for investing in agriculture if the Supreme Court fails to preserve a time frame of 1988. It would destroy agro-businesses in Brazil."